Hello and welcome to the Top Agent Podcast. My name is Costa and I chat with top real estate agents to discuss their successes, tips, and marketing strategies. This podcast series is brought to you by Web for Realty, the leading provider in real estate marketing tools to grow your business. If you're looking to attract leads, build relationships, and close more deals, go to webforrealty.com to learn more. In this episode, I'm speaking with Cynthia Ostos. Cynthia is a real estate broker with Keller Williams Realty Solutions in Mississauga. I was really excited to speak with Cynthia. She's been a realtor now for 8 years, and just seeing the growth in her business over the years is truly incredible and inspiring for anyone listening. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy our chat as much as I did. First off, thank you so much for again, I know I mentioned this, but taking the time to speak with me today. I really do appreciate that.
You're very welcome. I'm super excited.
All right. So for those that don't know who Cynthia Ostos is, please tell our audience just a bit about yourself, your background, and how you came to be a realtor.
Well, I have been in real estate. This is my 8th year. So in terms of background, like background professionally or personally?
Yeah. Maybe professionally, personally, however you want to take it.
Awesome. Been in real estate, like I said, 8 years. I got licensed on my 30th birthday. Very exciting that day. And it really changed my life, getting my license. So that day's a memorable day for me. And in terms of real estate, it's a tough industry, so I'm excited and fortunate to still be around in business. And now I have a team as well. So I started my team last year, so definitely growing the business, and also became a broker last year. So that opens the door to more opportunity. And in terms of my personal life, my parents are South American, so from Colombia. And I speak Spanish, grew up in Mississauga, and love what I do. So
Amazing. Congratulations on all that, by the way.
Thank you.
So I've known you since you pretty much started out as a realtor, and around the same time we started our company, and you've definitely grown significantly since then, which is incredible to see. I genuinely love seeing people and businesses grow in general. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on and speak to you. So as you mentioned, I see you're leading a team now, which is fantastic. One thing I've learned over the years is that hiring and growing a team is not easy. It's truly a skill set that gets better with time and experience, which a lot of people don't realize. And a question I hear often, especially from newer agents, is whether they should join a team or not. So what made you form that decision to create a team, and what do you look for in potential new team members?
So, we only have so much time, but basically, in terms of, being a single agent and then, deciding to build a team, it was basically, my business in about 3 years ago significantly changed from me, selling real estate to thinking about it more of a business. When I started in real estate, like back in 2010, I was kind of, let's say, winging it, but doing very, very well because, most agents, the average agent sells about 6 to 8 homes a year. And for me, off the bat, I was doing more than that my first, second, third, fourth, fifth year. Always doing more than that, about 20, 25 transactions a year on my own. And when I actually joined Keller Williams, my mindset around real estate and business, it definitely shifted into, there's only so much I can do alone as a realtor. And I ended up bringing on an assistant, and then that, grew to adding a buyer agent. And now we also have a marketing and events coordinator because, you can only do so much on your own, right? Like you can only wear so many hats. And I just decided that, I'm in this for the long haul and I want to provide amazing service to my clients. And if I'm only one person, it's probably going to suffer at some point in terms of the service they receive. So that's kind of what brought me to, decide to open, or branch out into more of a business mindset and leading a team, which, like you said, is not easy.
Oh, for sure. That's amazing. That's awesome. What are some of the biggest challenges that you currently face as a realtor, whether individually or with your team, for example?
I mean, I think the challenges, in being a team leader and in real estate in general is just there's so much you can do. And I'm the type of person, I guess, a bit of an entrepreneur mind innovator, and I'm wanting to implement so many things, but you kind of have to, as many realtors know, there's that whole squirrel syndrome. So you're looking here, looking there, this is a great idea, that's a great idea. And then you're seeing what other people are doing in your industry. So it's like wanting to implement so many things, I guess maybe in the back end, but then there's the front end, right? Like there's the transactions and actually showing homes and doing deals and, staying on target. And, there's just so much going on that it's hard to sometimes like be laser focused, which is really why they say, do the one thing at a time, right? So that's kind of a challenge that we find.
For sure, yeah, great insight, for sure. Now, one thing, you definitely have a very strong online presence. I mean, not only with your website, but on social media. I see you have over 4,000 followers on Facebook, another 1,000 plus on Instagram. These are really strong numbers for an individual realtor. So with that being said, what are some of your favorite and most effective marketing strategies that have given you the most ROI that you can share with our audience?
I mean, in terms of marketing, I think the one thing realtors kind of don't capitalize on is the marketing you can do for your own listings, right? Or even buyers that you're working with. So something that's been really great for us and keeping us kind of top of mind is every time we have a listing, we use that as, how can we market this to the max, right? So in terms of marketing a coming soon, in terms of a just listed, our open houses, like we make sure that, we're top of mind and our listings are top of mind, because that's, number one in terms of like, where can you market and what are you marketing, right? So we try and maximize that. And our sellers really appreciate that as well, because we don't just take a listing and forget about it. We're really trying to push that on all of our social media channels. So I'd say that's kind of like our number one in terms of marketing.
Yeah, I see you doing a great job of that, especially with the listing videos, which is great. I think video content nowadays is becoming a major, importance in any social strategy.
It is. It's huge. And I mean, we try and do those videos every time we can just to obviously promote the home, but have content. And, it's really challenging nowadays with all these different, places you could be, the different platforms. Even Instagram now has Instagram TV. So it's just endless, but video it's where it's at.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you said back in 2010. So this was, you've probably seen a lot of shifts especially in technology, with social media and video and everything technologically related. So how do you see technology in general changing real estate in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
That's a great question. I think that, especially when it comes to following up with leads. I just went to an amazing conference called Lab Code Agents in the States. It was in San Diego and Coronado Island. And they talked about, leverage is the new hustle, right? So how can you use like automated or AI type of, platforms to kind of follow up with leads. And, that's kind of, if you're not following up with your leads, I mean, that's where the money is, right? So how do you, as a busy realtor, keep in touch with all of these people? So automating things like that, it's huge. They talked a lot about that. And obviously video, sending more video messages to your clients. There's a lot of information online nowadays, but I think as much as, I sometimes wonder, will realtors be around in 10 years? I still think we will be, but, in terms of there being more and more information online, you have to obviously find more value to give the client besides what's online, right? So that, being on top of the latest trends and anything that you can find out about, a property, let's say that someone's interested in that's not publicly available, being on top of that because there is so much out there.
I love that. Leverage is a new hustle. That's a good one. And I think I totally agree with you. I think it's really important nowadays with new platforms and new mediums coming out just to be on top of it and at least try and test different things because, you never know what's going to work and what's not going to work until you actually do it. And that's what a lot of people don't do.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, we actually put a chat bot on our website, on the website that you host for us, and we were surprised and shocked when there was someone typing to us and saying like, "Is this really Cynthia?" And I have the app on my phone, and I started chatting with this person, and they were a live lead. They were someone that wanted to sell a home in Mississauga. So. We're going to be listing that property next week, and it literally cost us nothing.
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm a numbers guy. I love hearing about revenue, commissions, all that fun stuff. I know you mentioned when you just started out, you're doing 20 to 25 transactions per year. Mm-hmm. Are you able to share how many transactions you plan on doing in the next 12 months or the last 12 months?
Yeah, well, last year, so when it was my first year at Keller Williams, I did about, let's say, 40 odd transactions myself and an admin. So, income wise was about like 300,000. Last year we did, when I brought on the buyer agent, she came on in March. So by the end of the year, we did about 62 transactions. A handful of those were leases. So, that's quite a bit of business. And our goal this year was 100. We're definitely having a bit of a tough year. The market has really changed from last year. In terms of, balancing out and things taking longer to sell. So we might not hit our 100 transaction goal, which was, I guess, a bit aggressive in terms of, where we were last year. But we're on pace to do at least what we did last year for sure.
I love it. That's amazing. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Look, I want to be mindful of your time. I like to wrap up each interview with what I call the top 3. So number 1, your top real estate or business book?
There's so many great books out there. I tend to I actually listen to a lot of, audiobooks nowadays because, reading, I'm just one of those types of people where I like to drive and listen to stuff that's, mentally stimulating instead of, listening to music. If I'm in the mood, of course, you have to be in that right mindset to listen to content that's business related. But the MREA book, everybody, I'm sure, mentions that book. It's like the Bible of real estate. It really gets your mind around running real estate, your real estate business as a business and what it takes to get to that 7th level or, be out of production. So that would be my number 1 book if anybody's kind of interested in getting into real estate and running it like a real business.
Perfect. Number 2, your top vacation spot.
I honestly have to say Hawaii. I went there for my honeymoon, and it just was the most peaceful, beautiful place. And I would love to go back there. You know what? So, yeah.
I agree. Hawaii I actually went for my honeymoon as well. And it was one of those places for me where it just wanted to check it off my bucket list. Probably wouldn't go back again, but if I could, I would definitely go back every year.
It's just a bit far. It's far for us.
I know.
So yeah.
But yeah, beautiful spot. And number 3, you got your license 8 years ago on your 30th birthday, so you're 38 years old. Mm-hmm. If you could go back 18 years, what do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Well, my 20s, they were not my favorite time in my life in terms of looking back and saying, in my 20s, I was very much still trying to find myself, and I was definitely not who I am today. So I think I would have just focused more on like self-development and, finding out like who I really was and just being more like true to myself and putting myself first, I would say. Amazing.
Good advice. And if people want to get a hold of you or reach out, where can they find you?
Yeah, by all means. Our team is definitely growing and always looking for talent. So you can check us out at cynthiaostos.com, and we're also on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us there.
Perfect. I'll put all your details in the show notes, by the way. And that's pretty much it, Cynthia. It was a real pleasure speaking with you. Nice catching up, and we should definitely do this again.
Thank you, Costa. I really appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Have a good one.
Take care. You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Top Agent Podcast by Web for Realty. By the way, we're providing exclusive promos to our listeners. Visit webforrealty.com/topagent and get your first month on us. That's webforrealty.com/topagent to get your first month of service completely free. Until next time, over and out. Peace.